Go.
Hi, I'm Max Dible. I am an assistant sports editor and a basketball reporter for the Iowa State Daily.
And I am Alex Gookin. I'm also assistant sports editor and basketball writer for the Iowa State Daily.
We are coming to you live from the Big 12 tournament here at the Sprint Center in Kansas City, Missouri. And Iowa State has just beaten Texas by 2 points on a last-second shot. Alex Gookin, Hilton Magic apparently travels as well as the ISU fan base.
Yeah, it was definitely a full house full of Iowa State fans today, but Monte Morris, of course, hitting the shot with at the buzzer. And he and George Yang had a great game. They combined for 46 points, 9 assists, 9 out of the team's 10 assists, and then Monte also had 5 steals in the effort. So, I mean, over the last 3 games, they've had quite a dynamic duo going on. How impressive have they been, and how big is that shot?
Well, it wasn't exactly the shot heard around the world, but it probably will be known, at least tonight, as the shot heard around the Power and Light District here in Kansas City. Interestingly, it was the first time that Iowa State held the lead in this entire game. Didn't have a lead all game until the clock read 0. They had been tied a few times. Obviously, they were tied at 67 when Monte caught that pass in the backcourt from Hove, brought it up. Just unbelievable the way this game ended. Not quite maybe as crazy as what happened against Oklahoma at home in Dustin Hove's final game at Hilton, the team's final game at Hilton this season, but just really, really impressive. And you're right, George and Monte, the 2 leaders on this team. Naz is a vocal leader too, but the 2 leaders on the floor really coming up big in the second half, specifically in the last 3 games, like you said, just playing so well. And now you got to wonder, after a win like this, what's it going to take to beat Iowa State? I mean, you feel like if they were going to lose, it was going to be then, because 3 minutes and 35 seconds left, they're down by 10 points. Every time they threw a punch, Texas counter-punched, held them off. But Texas tried to dribble their way to a victory, and against Iowa State, that's not the way to go about it. I think we've seen that.
Right, and that's a good point. Iowa State does control the game. They truly do. You can try to outpace them. They won't. They won't crack. I think at one point down 10, scored 2 baskets. Monte stole the ball.
Yep.
Immediately scored again. I mean,
Would you say you think that steal? I felt like that was the turning point.
It was.
But they started to press there in the last 4 minutes. And we've been at every home game, most of the away games between the 2 of us. How many minutes have they pressed this year? 5, 10?
Yeah, it's got to be between 5 and 10.
So to do it as effectively as they did, because you're right, Monte hit that 2-pointer, steals the ball. They end up, I think actually maybe he made a couple of free throws. Yeah, so made a couple of free throws and then hit that 2-point basket. Just really turned the tide, I felt. And Texas started to play a little scared.
Right, and I mean, Dustin Hoke hits a corner 3-pointer there to make it a 3-point game, and that's when the place really came alive. So it was, despite it being mainly the Monte and George Yang show, it was a good team effort, especially at the end. And they're getting used to these second half comebacks, and it appears that down 16 points, Iowa State can't do it, but they've proven time and time again that they can.
Yeah, they can, and Coach Hoiberg joked that somebody asked him in the post-game press conference how Jamie Pollard, the athletic director for Iowa State, was doing. Pollard suffered a heart attack and had a triple bypass surgery just a day ago. And Hoiberg responded, now he's also a heart disease sufferer, and Pollard came out on the other side, so it was good-natured. He responded, he might have had another heart attack after that game. Jameel McKay said afterwards, he said, we're going to do our best to be done with these comebacks and to start out well. I think a lot of Iowa State fans would be happy if they started out quicker, but you can't really beat the final 4 minutes of this game. I mean, it was so great. I can't wait for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, and we will see you after the semifinal game against either Oklahoma or Oklahoma State, which is in session right now.
We'll find that out in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, so keep with us at the Iowa State Daily, and we will see you then.
Peace.